Welcome to I Am Geek. This is Ryan, and this is episode 119. We are back with you here live from Batu. No, not Batu.
No.
I was at Batu. It was a long journey back.
Wow.
But I'm here with my good pal Katrin and my good brother Chris. Changing it up tonight.
Look out.
You like that?
Yes.
Oh,
I did.
I don't know what just happened. I'm so confused.
I thought it was excellent.
Yeah, it's just the three of us tonight. And I'm back from Walt Disney World, so we're going to do sort of a trip report. But more importantly, I know Chris is excited, and I'm sure Katrin
I'm always excited.
doesn't care. But the Masked Singer is back.
You're right.
Yes.
I don't care.
And I am excited. So,
My favorite of the singing shows.
my only singing show. No, all others are dead to me.
So you watched it, right, Chris?
I did watch it, and I enjoyed it thoroughly, just like I enjoyed last season. It's so good. They're doing a little different this year, I think.
Yeah, they're doing like Showdown, Smackdown. type
Yeah, like a
things.
SmackDown, like, I don't know, sing off. However you-
Yeah. If you don't know what the Masked Singer is, it's celebrities. He's
Mm.
in quotes because you never know who it's going to be. I mean, it could be celebrities.
Just-
and
yeah,
It could be.
It could be someone you know. Then they could take their mask off, and you'd be like, I have no clue who they are.
Yeah. That happened last season.
Yeah.
Some of them, I'm like, no clue. Anyways, so they wear these elaborate costumes and masks, and then they sing, and then the judges critique them, and then people vote, and narrows it down. And the loser of each night has to take their mask off.
Mhm.
But I guess this first episode, 2 people took their mask off. I haven't finished it yet.
Yeah, they did. Because, yeah, for some reason I thought last season it was just like one person per show took it off. But this one, it had 2 different showdowns, and the loser from each of those had to do a face-off against each other. Well, no, it was 4 different showdowns. So, and they would do the loser from those would face off against each other, and the loser of that had to take their mask off.
All right.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Wow. It's exciting.
So stay tuned. It's going to be exciting. I'm using a different mic tonight, and we're trying a different setup tonight. So let us know on Twitter or Facebook or whatever if it sounds better, or you want us if it doesn't sound better, let us know too.
If you want mine
Just-
turned down like super low so you barely hear me, let us know that. Rather not hear me as much. That's fine. I completely understand.
That's not.
All
gonna
right. So
happen.
I did just get back from my family vacation to Disney World, and it wasn't just
Holiday
my wife and her
road.
kids, but it was her family too. So her parents, her sister, and her husband. So there was like 8 of us.
Oh, just they.
Just the 8. That's
Just the 8 of us.
Good show.
yeah.
It was like we had a TGIF show at Disney World because that's where they all went, anyways, right?
Yeah.
That's true.
I think the Goldbergs are going there this week.
I watched it. They went to Disneyland.
They went to Disney. Okay, it looked like they went to one of them.
It was so funny. It was just like National Lampoon's Vacation. They all
Nice.
get in a station wagon. They hit the road. Christy Brinkley's there.
Great.
Madness, craziness happens.
Hilarity
Just good.
ensues.
Hilarity. Yeah. And they get there, they even do the slow run through the parking lot. Which there was no cars in the parking lot at Disneyland.
That's
Well,
not
back
gonna
in the '80s, maybe. Like, it was-
Good point. That's a good point.
Anyways, sorry. My phone's going crazy. See, if I stop talking, everybody just stops talking.
That's right.
Well, we don't understand what's happening.
I don't know what's going on. You guys can keep talking.
We'll try better.
We just lose focus. We get distracted. Very
So we
easily.
took the journey. We didn't drive. We flew from Texas
That's a
to
good-
Orlando.
That's good.
Mhm.
We didn't take the Magical Express this time like we did last time.
That's good.
That was
Yeah.
forever.
It is. It used to be fun, and the last time we did it was the last time we did it because it was just a lot of standing and waiting,
Yeah.
and it's
Is
gotten
that
ridiculous.
is that the Disney bus that
It
picks you up
is.
at the
It's the
airport? Or?
free. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you check your bags in at your airport and put these special tags on there, and you get to Orlando Airport and you check in at this little kiosk. They're getting your bags for you, putting them on a bus. Sounds great, right? And you go to your hotel, but you end up standing in this long line to get on a bus with a bunch of people going to different hotels. So they have to stop at maybe 3 hotels, and you may not get your bags right then either because they're not necessarily putting your bags
Yeah.
on your bus. So it's and it used to be fine. I mean, like I said, we did it once or maybe twice or 2 or 3 times, whatever, and it was fine. But the last time we did it, it was when we took our son for the first time, and it was just a lot of waiting, and we didn't like it. So we've been Ubering or taxiing the other times, or one time we drove because we flew to Tampa because of issues on the plane, but. Yeah, never again for us, unfortunately.
Well, we yeah. So we weren't going to do that again, and we rented a car. And my wife was like, "I found this really good deal," and I'm like, "That's great. Yeah, you found a good deal. All for that." Um, I didn't check. I should have checked
Oh,
on the deal. We get there, and I'm like, "So, when you go down to the floor, there's like all the car rental places that are lined up."
yes.
I said, "What's the name of the car place?"
Oh boy.
He said, "Ace."
The hardware store?
I'm like,
Get a
"Ace?
hammer.
Yeah. I'm like, "There's not an Ace car rental in this line of car rental places."
Oh no.
It's like, "There's not? Oh." So I looked around and I found it on a sign. It's one of the off-site car
Oh
places
ho ho.
that you have to wait for a shuttle to come get you. And I was like, she's like, "I didn't know." I was like, "It's okay." And we waited for that shuttle for probably.
Should have done the Magical Express.
I know. Well, when I went alone last time for that for a conference, I got like budget or something that
Yeah.
was there, and I just walked right up, and they're like, "Here you go," and I was gone.
Yeah.
So next time I'm gonna check, see which car place
Yes.
before we get there, because I just assumed I shouldn't have assumed.
Shouldn't assume.
You know what happens when you assume?
You might be wrong.
Sometimes you're wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. Might not happen. Gotcha.
So we got that. We finally got the car. Because it took. Well, we got the shuttle, got to the car place, and then that took forever because it was like long line to get your car. I know why it's cheap now.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, "Okay, go out and inspect your car, and then bring it back in." It was a mess. So we're not doing that again. Car was fine, but yeah, it was a mess.
I'm sorry.
So we didn't get to go to the hotel before we went to dinner. Our dinner was like 8:00. We went to Homecoming, so
That's
I
good.
recommend it.
Yep.
Oh.
My wife's favorite place, and she always wants to go there first thing. So we went to Homecoming, met up with her family, had a nice dinner. By that time, the kids were getting a little cranky, though. Had our fried chicken, had our mac and cheese, mashed potatoes,
Biscuit.
cheddar drop biscuits.
Mm.
Oh, it's like you're eating food from home.
I know.
It's like Homecoming.
Yeah.
Oh. Is Spider-Man there?
Then yeah.
No, this is
Yeah,
Homecoming.
that's
That's Homecoming.
Spider-Man
Oh.
wasn't there, but Night Monkey was there because
Night Monkey.
Spider-Man's not legally
That's right.
allowed to be
Not
there.
yet.
He's not allowed to be there anymore. Yeah.
Maybe. They're still working on it.
Who knows? So that was basically our first day in Orlando. We got there, later, and it took forever to get the car, and then we went to Homecoming. That was fun. But then the next day, so if you stay at a resort, we stayed at Saratoga Springs because we're DVC members. Not a sponsor. but it's
Fancy.
wonderful. Fancy. Yeah. Yeah, this coming from the cruise guy that goes on cruises all the time. Fancy. Anyways, so if you stayed at a resort, a Disney World resort, for your trip, you got to go to Hollywood Studios at 6 a.m.
Extra magic hour.
Extra
Ooh.
magic hour. And I think you could go to Magic Kingdom at 7 a.m.
Mm,
I didn't do that.
probably so. Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I'm going by myself
Great idea.
to Galaxy's Edge or to Hollywood Studios, 6 a.m. Leaving the kids and the wife in the bed.
Perfect.
It was a long day before. So I got up. I don't know what time it was. It was 4 or 5. Or
so
something.
you
I don't
didn't
know.
go to bed, basically.
I pretty much didn't go to bed. Got up, went. I went out. I thought I would have to wait for the bus. I walked out, and the bus pulled basically right up.
Nice.
Hopped on the bus. There was like 4 people on the bus.
Nice.
Half of them didn't even care about Star Wars. They were going
Oh.
to ride Toy Story
Yeah.
Land
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh, there you go.
So I was like, that's good for me.
Yep.
I get there, so I get to the park. Still dark outside, still nighttime basically. Walk into the studios, and there wasn't that many people there, which I was like, so they like held you, like crowd you on the main street there at Hollywood Studios,
Mhm.
like where the stores are and stuff.
Yep.
And then like the Star Wars music started playing over the loudspeakers, and a voice came on welcoming you to Galaxy's Edge. And then like 4 or 5 First Order troopers marched out to the music and stood in front of you, and they marched you back to Galaxy's Edge all the way through the park,
Oh,
Nice.
goodness.
which was pretty cool. You got the music playing on all the speakers. They're marching you. The march of the
Penguins?
first
Penguins.
Order troopers. They marched you right till the entrance. They stepped to the side at attention with their blasters, and then we walked in, and they had it where like all the cast members or the Batuians or whatever they're called.
Batuians?
I don't know. It's Batu, so whatever you call somebody from Batu.
Batusians?
I
Batusians.
don't know. I didn't ask them. Should have asked them. They had them like lined up, so you couldn't go left or right. You had to follow this line.
Oh.
And basically, when you went in, they put you right to the Smuggler's Run. So basically, you went straight to Smuggler's Run.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So got in line. I was like one of the first people there, so I have long legs, so I walk faster. So I basically walked.
You shoved people around. So you
No,
could
I
get
just
through.
walked to the
Jeez,
outside, and I just kept my stride. And
Wow, man.
I was up front.
Jerk.
I mean,
Move
when
it,
I
kid.
got there, I was almost up front anyways. But when you wander all the way back through the park, it's like, well, if there's nobody in front of me, I'm going to walk.
Yes.
There was like, I don't know what was going on. There's some lady that was like passed out. I mean, you just got there. She's like passed out on a park bench. On the way back, I guess it was too long of a walk or something.
She was there since last night.
Yeah.
Probably. So they marched us on to the ride, and because I was flying solo.
So when they asked your name, they're like, "What family you're with?" I'm like, I don't have any family.
No, they said how they did say how many in your party, and I said I'm solo today.
Get out of my face.
Yeah.
Like 50th time today.
Yeah,
we just
yeah.
opened.
It's
So
only
since
6
I was
o'clock.
by myself, I didn't get to pilot.
Oh.
Of course.
Because basically it's like, okay, you're by yourself. We'll fill you in with other people. So I didn't pilot. I was, I think, a gunner the first time. So I did the gunner. And the ride is great. It's fun. I liked it a lot. I didn't necessarily like that if you're a gunner or you're an engineer, everything's to your side.
Mhm.
So if buttons light up, you got to look over and you miss what's going on in front of you because you're trying to figure out what buttons to press the whole time. So I didn't like that. I wish the buttons were just sort of in front of you, even though that wouldn't be like screen accurate. Like it's not really screen accurate.
Still not screen accurate because the gunner should be in like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
back middle, whatever.
Which they had that. I'm gonna post a bunch of pictures on our Instagram and stuff after this episode comes out. They have that. So if you walk in, so first you walk in and you come face to face with Honda Accord, like I like to call him. He's there and he's telling you what's going on. The animatronic, I mean, looks like a real guy up there in a costume. That's how
Awesome.
good it is. And then so he sends you in, and then you basically go down this hallway, and you're inside the Millennium Falcon, and it felt like you were there. The chess, the game board was there. The place where Luke, the bed thing, was there. You had the kissing hallway.
He kissed a stranger.
That's right.
Yeah, it was like, hey, come here.
Some dude.
Don't do that.
No.
You.
Later on, my family was there, and I said, we got to go take a picture of this hallway.
She's like,
Oh,
fine.
no, she had fun.
Pass.
Anyway, so the ride was great. The ride was great. Because I wrote it a bunch of times, so I'll just sort of sum everything up in this one post instead of being like, and then we went back to this, and then we did that. So I got to do the pilot once, and basically the engineer and the gunner both sides. I only got to do one pilot one time. Because there's one time we went back with our cousin Sammy, and it was just Grant and me, and Grant wouldn't pilot. He wanted to only be a gunner, and since he's 4.5, they're like, you have to sit beside him. So I'm like, oh, I can't pilot.
Oh.
So,
Oh.
but there was only 3 of us in that one because the people that were supposed to be with us didn't want to be with the little kid, and they bailed on us. Yeah, I know.
Jerk.
Like, it's Disney World.
Yeah.
Get over it. But the pilot, it's fun. It's like, I was the up and down pilot, and
Up and down pilot.
Jennifer's dad was the left and right.
So futuristic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can only move in one direction.
Yeah.
It's 2.
So, but I'm sure he won't listen to this podcast. I'm sure he won't listen to it. He was so bad at it. He was so bad at it. I'm like going up and down, and I'm like yelling at him, go left. What are you doing?
Oh, God.
Trying to figure it out.
I mean, has he ever flown a Falcon before?
Well, I hadn't either, but I was going up and down just fine.
Mm-hmm.
Up and down's the easy part. It's side to side. That's
I
what's
guess.
That's a little tricky.
I mean, you get your
Yeah.
lefts and right mixed up. You got to hold up your fingers and do the L thing. See which. Okay, that's my left.
But it was funny because afterwards he was like, well, I don't think that thing really does anything. I think he was just flying itself. And I'm like, no, dude. It was doing stuff. You just weren't doing it with it. But I got to do the go to light speed. That was so cool.
Nice.
That's cool.
Pull the lever down and you shoot off light speed.
Did you go plaid?
Yeah. I watched part of that on the airplane on the way there. But I like the ride. Now, is it like my favorite ride at Disney World? No. But it was a solid ride. It was fun. I did it like 8 times. I
Nice.
think.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. 'Cause I did it like twice that morning, and then I did it with my family, and then we went back again. I went back another morning at 6 a.m. I did it a couple times, and then at nighttime. So going at 6 a.m., if you're going to stay at a park, I recommend at least going one day at 6 a.m. because it is like low crowds, and you could do everything. You could knock it out before the park opens because there's not a whole lot to do. I mean, you could probably do Galaxy's Edge and Toy Story Land.
Yeah,
If
I'm
you-
sure.
Yeah.
I just stayed in there, and I did. So basically, I did the Falcon. I got off the Falcon. I went into the Droid Depot just to check it out because it was like right there.
Mhm.
And I was like, you know what? So we had a friend of the show, basically send me to Savi's workshop to build a lightsaber. I don't know if he wants me to say who he is. So I'm just gonna say a friend of the show. You guys know who it is. Because I wasn't gonna do it because I'm.
Oh, we know.
Yeah, I was was like, I just can't do $200 for that. You know, he's like, no, I want you to go. I want the 13-year-old Ryan that loves Star Wars to go and build a lightsaber. So I was like, man, that's such a blessing, and I loved it so much. So I I went to the Droid Depot because I knew they had something in there, and I'm like, if I'm going to do this lightsaber or anything, I might as well do this. And you can get these gift cards only in the Droid Depot, but they're metal. They're like solid metal, and basically they're the currency of Batu. Yeah, or Black Spire Outpost. They're heavy. They got some weight to them. You have to put $100 on it. You can't get one without putting $100 on it. That's how they get you. So transferred the $100 onto this, and so this was my currency. And then
Cool.
I walked over because if you go out of basically I went out of the Droid Depot and I was like, I want to go see Savi's, but I'm hungry, so I thought I'll go eat breakfast. And so I went to Docking Bay 7, which is like their quick service place,
Mhm.
and I got breakfast. So I got the. This is a if you're going to be there at 6 a.m. and you don't like to eat a big breakfast, because I don't, because I have some not fun stomach issues. You can get the kids version because I was looking at the menu and the guy was like, if you're not too hungry, just get the kids version. And the kids version was big. It was like a regular sized breakfast. But this weird egg like circle thing. It was an egg, but it looked weird.
Sure it
And then
was.
it had these like red, purple potatoes, and then a Mustafar lava roll,
Oh.
which was like a spicy cinnamon roll. Had a little kick
Oh.
to it. It was
Weird.
good though.
Yeah.
It was good. It had like Oreos sprinkled on top of it, I think, and it had this red icing stuff. But it had a little like bite to it, a little kick to it. But it
Interesting.
was good, and it came with a drink, so it was like $6 or something. Full
Oh.
breakfast with a drink.
And you could have got that or Coke.
I know. I did get a Coke later.
For $6.
Yeah. So yeah, it was like $6 or something like that for the breakfast, and it filled me up. So I highly recommend that. Go to Docking Bay 7 and get the kids' breakfast. It comes with fruit, but you can substitute the lava roll. So I substituted the lava roll.
But you don't want fruit.
No, well, I mean, you want to try the like the Star Wars food, right? I mean,
Well,
fruit.
it's
Come on,
Star
yeah.
Wars fruit.
No, it was just regular fruit.
That's space fruit.
It's like cantaloupe and stuff.
Oh, that's from space.
Yeah.
Space cantaloupe.
But they are. If you hear snoring, it's my dog.
That's me.
They are really into character. So when I walked up, one of the times we were in there for food, I walked up to the counter and I was like, "So, any fresh shipments in today? Is this all fresh?" And they're like, "Oh, we've got shipments coming in all day long. You know, Cookie's the chef, and he travels the galaxy looking for special, cuisines and stuff. So this is his week as the chef, and stuff is coming in all day long. So he got some special treats for you. So they like stay in character. And I asked like the person at the checkout. I was like, how's it going today? Any first order trouble in here? And she was like, she like immediately jumped into it. She's like, the cook doesn't like them, so he doesn't want them in here. So we don't cause any problems. And they don't come in here, and so no problems today. They stay out there. We stay in here. Like they were into it. Because I was sort of testing them. I'm like, are they gonna be in like a character, or are they just gonna be like, yeah, just pay?
Yeah.
So you're up there and they're just like, one of these guys.
No. I mean, it's probably
Part
fun.
of the deal.
I mean,
Hey, it is probably
Yeah.
fun for them.
yeah. Did you all read the article that I posted?
Probably.
It's really long. That's why I asked. Because the guy that he dressed up as much as you could, and like he printed these cards.
Oh, I started to,
So
but I didn't get to finish.
he made these ID cards in acrylic, whatever, plastic, whatever, and so it looks like this clear ID card. He made credits out of these things, and all these he went all out, and he even learned the language. Like he changed the keys on his
Oh my
keyboard to
goodness.
be the letters because they're just swapped. It's just a replacement, right? And A is this,
Yeah.
and he learned all that, and he tried to get into it as much as possible, read the signs and everything. And this is at Disneyland, but the one of the cast members came over and asked him if they wanted to play a card game with him, and it was like some other staff members or cast members, and it was the Han Solo card game, right? From Solo.
Sabak.
Yeah. So they go and play the game, and they're talking, and he breaks out like the credits and all that stuff, and they're like, oh my gosh, you're going all out. And one of the guys eventually says, hey, did you ride Smuggler's Run yet? And he's like, no, not yet. And he's like, well, come with me. And he took him like right to the front of the line and put him on the ride.
Oh my
cool.
goodness.
It's like,
That's
wow.
awesome.
Because he was so into it. Like that's what they want. They want you to be into it because that's the whole point.
Yeah.
You can't do that at Toy Story Land. You can't. What are you going to do? It's like, I'm a big kid, these are toys. But there's
You're
no
a
other.
toy. When you see people, you don't move.
They don't have any other opportunity. The cast members don't have any other opportunity really to live in those worlds. I mean, they could in Pandora, but I don't think they do they? I don't know. But they do in Batu, Galaxy's Edge, Black Spire Outpost. One of the three names. Pick a name. But I don't know. So that's cool. I'm glad you got.
Yeah, they were into it. Like when I got one of these Cokes, it looks like some kind of bomb.
The thermal
They
detonation.
said-
Christmas ornament.
It was like
Christmas.
early, and I just needed caffeine. So they said, hold it like this. So basically, you hold it in the palm of your hand, not like you would hold a regular Coke
Yeah.
or whatever. And I was trying to pay, and I was fiddling with stuff, and I grabbed it by the lid, and the whole thing, like the lid came off, and it hit the ground and started rolling. And the lady's like, "Oh no, it's gonna blow up! It's gonna explode!"
That's awesome.
He's like, "Hurry, give that one back to me before it blows up. I'll give you a new one."
That's awesome. That's fun.
But yeah, so after I ate breakfast, I went by Savi's, and I did the night before make a reservation. A reservation popped up, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna make a reservation," but it was for later on in the day. So I went by, and they're like, "Oh, are you interested in some buying some or salvage today?" And I'm like, "Well, I've got a reservation for some salvage later." And they're like, "Oh, we can get you in right now if you want to." I'm like, "Let's do it." So they take you to the checkout place or whatever. You pay.
Oh, it's so. I'm
Okay.
sorry. When they're like asking if you're into some salvage, I'll be like, "Do you mean the lightsaber?" That's probably what. Like
Oh, yeah,
yes,
I'm,
yes, we. Sorry.
I'm into some salvage.
Like what are we talking about? Is this the droid thing or the lightsaber? I don't know. I'm not into this.
I was-
I know, but it would just be like, what are we talking about here?
I really don't want any junk. I don't know what you.
I don't. What,
Anyways, so when you go up there, you have to. When you pay, you have to pick.
yeah.
You don't get to like figure it out later or whatever. You have to pick. I'm trying to find my pen.
You have to
You have to
pick
pick
your saber.
right then.
There's the 4 different kinds of lightsabers that you can choose from.
Evil, good, not so evil, not so good.
Exactly.
Yeah, so there's power and control, elemental nature, protection and defense, and peace and justice. And I picked peace and justice because looking at the lightsaber parts, it's to me personally. No offense to anybody else that did the other ones, but for me, peace and justice was the only one that looked like legit.
Everyone else is wrong.
Well, it'll be
Should
interesting.
have picked this one.
Well, the other
Yeah.
ones. The other ones just look sort of like plasticky.
Well, just
Whatever.
looking
Like
at
the-
pictures, like
Yeah.
I have to agree with
The
you.
horn?
Like the horn thing looked terrible to me.
Oh yeah, it's just a piece of plastic. That whole elemental nature just looks like plastic, which is funny because it's supposed to be like, the environment. And what hurts the environment? Plastic. So it is all looked like oh, that's plastic, and then everything's plastic, and then the
Mm.
leather wrapping just looked like rubber wrapped, just a chunk of rubber.
It'll be
Um,
interesting to see if they have any statistics that they release. It's like this, which they probably won't. But to see those statistics though, of like this many people took this one, and probably most took the one that you took. Or
Yeah,
there was one
I could see.
it was
other one, but
when I went in
yeah,
there, it was a mix. I mean, it was a
Yeah,
mix.
I could see them
There was
eventually
definitely people
like
from
adding new
everyone.
parts and
right.
discontinuing others. I could see them doing that eventually.
Well, the thing is, there's this thing you go up to, and it has drawers. Like, I don't know why this isn't out front, but it was like after you pay and you go in, and then you can look through the different parts. And there's a fifth
Mm.
drawer
Oh.
that's not you
Ooh,
can't open.
Mhm.
So I'm wondering, like, if they have plans
yeah.
to do a fifth
Like
type.
when another movie
It's a
comes out, maybe or
unicorn
something.
drawer.
The unicorn.
Yeah. But so after you pay and you pick your time, they give you this. It's a really cool pin. Um, so mine looks like the rest of them are weird, but mine looks like it's just a circle with the lights
Yeah,
in
it's nice.
it. But and they say you have to wear the pin. You have to put it in a certain spot on your shirt. Put it on,
Yeah, you showed a
and
picture of
then
that and stuff that you had before you're going in, and I was just like, "Oh, you're going into Total Recall." Mhm.
yeah, they give you this thing that says "Peace and Justice," and then they give you a pin. So it's like a card. And then you don't get to keep the
You
card.
got some flair.
$200. You should. Yeah. So I got some flair. So I got this. Gotten the line, and there wasn't that many people in line. It was like half the room was full when I get in,
Oh
when I got
wow.
in there. Not even half the room. So it was a very more intimate
Yeah, you
experience.
showed your pictures. Yeah, it
And
didn't look like there was a ton of people in there. I was like, "Oh, that's kind of cool."
yeah, yeah. So it was really cool. There wasn't that many people in there. People asked me, did I video it? I'm like, no. I said I wanted to see it with my own eyes. I didn't want to
Want to be in the
video it, so I
moment.
didn't video. I took some pictures. Yeah. But the lady that was like the head gatherer, that's what they call the people in there, the gatherers.
Oh,
She was
that's not ominous at
phenomenal.
all.
Yeah, she was phenomenal. Like, she was totally in character, wasn't joking around. Because some people I've heard say, yeah, like some people that they've got has just been, trying to play it funny and be funny and goofy. She was like,
I
no, this is a very serious thing that we're about to experience. This is legit. And she kept in character. She like walked over to me and looked at me like, I believe you know what you're doing, don't you? And like this sort of like I sense that you
Yeah.
know what it's about to happen or
I
something like
thought what would be great is if you knew like some magic tricks and where you could have like invisible string that you attach to pieces
that. I
and then
thought about
lifted it
doing
up and
that.
started moving it around.
If I had had a chance, I was gonna get some invisible string and like put it on the kyber crystal and then like lift it up and like put it in the lightsaber. I was the only one in there that got it in first try. I just put the kyber crystal in, and she was like, "I saw you put that kyber crystal. I've never seen someone put one in that fast. You must. The force must be strong with you, and all this stuff."
I,
Like, she was
I saw a
excellent.
video with her. I
Um,
think I know who you're talking about. Is she bald headed or something or short hair? Yeah.
yeah,
And yeah, she was
yeah,
really good. It was somebody totally different that had the video posted, but yeah, it was cool.
Was she
yeah,
she like you must have built a lot of IKEA in your time?
yeah.
Those who are wise in the ways of IKEA do well here.
she, she did one funny thing. Like, before we lit up this lightsaber, she goes, "I bet you chose. I can sense in you. You chose the green crystal, or the green kyber crystal." She's like, How do you think I knew that?" And everybody's like, "Oh," and she's like, "I saw you pick it."
That's awesome.
It's funny, but it's cool. So you put the little pin down, so they know what to bring up, and then they come around with this container that they open up, and it's got all the different colors of the kyber crystal that they have in there. They have blue, red, green, and violet or purple. They call it violet. and so it's all lit up. The crystals are lit up, and you get to choose your color, and it goes around to the next one. So I chose green because Luke Skywalker, his green lightsaber.
Oh, okay.
Uh, and I have a yeah, I just I thought that would be cool to get the green one. And then you put that into the sort of the inner shell, and then the pieces. They bring out the pieces, and then you have multiple pieces to choose from, which we've talked about before. So I like mine. I like what I'll light it up for you. You're it
Yeah.
That's all right.
Oh, sorry. So the cool thing is each crystal, different colors sound different. It's not just the color that changes, but the sound changes.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. So I chose
Some of them
green.
just sound like "Room I'm on."
Some of them go. Some of them go pew 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 pew. Anyway, so they go through the whole like ceremony thing. You pick your parts, and then Yoda comes out of nowhere talking and tells you about the Force and everything. And then it sort of they come and put your hilt in this little cool device, and then when you ignite it, it lights up, and because before there's not a blade, it's just the hilt, and then when they stick it in that thing, that's how you get the blade. So it's a cool way to do the blade without just being like, "Here's your plastic blade, hook it in."
Can't touch the blade.
Yeah. So I loved it. I'm not gonna lie, a tear may have been shed.
So it was worth the $200.
Yes, especially because it wasn't my $200. I was very blessed by that. But yeah, a tear was shed. It got me. It was like very emotional, especially being a kid growing up, loving Star Wars, and to be able to build your own lightsaber. Not like when they've done it before at Disney, where you just go up to that little thing and get a bunch of parts and put them together. No, this is like legitimately you were in this back room of this place, and it was all very ominous and mysterious, and you're building your own lightsaber. I loved it.
I'm glad you had a good time.
So thank you again to the
mysterious person
provided that. Yeah, so they give you a bag. You walk out because they don't want you swinging your lightsaber around in the park.
That's been a rule for years. Like you're not supposed to pull your lightsaber out and swing. I think ever since the park opened, I don't think they wanted you to do that.
Yeah. So after that, I got the Coke. I had the lightsaber on. I had the pen. I was just sort of walking around, taking it all in. Yeah, I had all this stuff in my hands. Taking it all in, and then I see, and I don't remember her name. Vi V. She's basically part of the Resistance. She's a Resistance spy that lives on Batuu. She's like a new character made just for Galaxy's Edge, and she wanders around. The First Order troopers chase after her and all this stuff. So they were like chasing after her, and she saw me, and she was like, "I'm coming back to find you later." And I'm like,
I'm probably leaving now.
I'm like, okay.
It's like, oh, right, I got a date.
I'm like, let's do this, because she was like, totally in character. She saw that I had
everything.
She saw that I had the Coke in my hand and the lightsaber, and she's like, "I'm coming back for you later. Find me later," or something like that. So later on, I was wandering around, and I saw her, and I just sort of walked up to her, and she's like, and she remembered me. She's like, "Oh, we found each other again. This is excellent." She's like, so she looked at me. She's like, "Well, why didn't you help me or cause a distraction earlier when those First Order troopers were chasing after me?" And so, like, I was like thinking on my feet there. I was like, you know what? I started to, because I had this thermal detonator in my hand, and I thought I could throw this and cause a distraction. But I noticed all the people around, all the off-world travelers, and all the Batuans, and they were all around, and I didn't want to risk injuring or losing innocent lives. And she's like, that's very smart. That is very smart thinking. Like she was into it. I was like, I'm gonna do this too. This is fun. So we were like going back and forth, and she was telling me about, you know, running from the first order and gathering stuff for the resistance. So it was really cool back and forth. Like she took the time to do that, so that was cool. I think she does, from what I could tell by watching the characters walk around. She seems to tend to go more towards adults or teenagers or older, and then Ray and Chewbacca tend to go for the little kids and like guide them around and stuff. So I like that they did that. That they have a character that's pretty much going around talking to the adults, getting them into it, and then you have the characters that are getting the kids into it. So they're thinking about the multi-generational Star Wars fans. That makes sense. That was cool. And the First Order, they do their thing. The troopers wander around, and you could tell that they have a set dialogue that comes out, and they'll say random, move along, and all this stuff. I saw Kylo Ren from the back walking. He wasn't out that much, as far as everybody else. Um, but then I went into Doc Ondor's, which is the store there.
Oh, you have all this stuff that you've bought and you haven't been to the store yet.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Well, I just had a lightsaber and a Coke bottle and a gift card. Anyways, so I went in there, it's a really cool place. Like all the Star Wars references that are all on the walls, all the props and stuff is really cool. That's where you can buy extra crystals for your lightsabers. I may have done that because I wanted to be able to try different colors.
Of course.
I may have bought a belt clip so that I could wear the lightsaber hilt.
Constantly in your house.
Right there. Yeah. I may have put the belt clip on and went back another day with my lightsaber on my belt. May have done that. So that was cool. So like, they saw that I had the lightsaber in there, and they're like, "Oh, are you here to procure some more kyber crystals for your lightsaber?" I thought, "Oh, maybe. Let's look around." But then I also got they have all the legacy lightsabers in there.
Ooh, yeah.
That's the characters from the movie. So I got to hold, like they'll just let you hold them and like look at them and stuff. So I got to hold a bunch of them. I didn't buy any of those. Just held them, looked at them. And the Savi's lightsaber is way more heavier than any of those.
Huh.
Like those just felt like nothing in your hand, pretty much. The Savi one feels like
the Savi one. That's like seems like kind of big, thick, whatever. Are the other ones? Are they more kind of standard, like what you would see in the movie?
Yeah, they're not as thick as the Savi one. And they're cool, but you can't like change the kyber crystal. You can't do a lot of the stuff you can with the Savis. It's just sort of there, to look at. Pretty. The Asajj Ventress one.
Yeah.
You know who that is? So you could buy 2 of hers and hook them
That's
together.
awesome.
And it makes that snake-looking lightsaber. It's really cool looking. And then you could do that with Darth Maul's too. You could buy 2 of his, and it comes with the connector. I held Mace's lightsaber. Cool. And of course, Obi-Wan's is probably my favorite one in there. It was very light. Obi-Wan's is like nothing. And then Luke's, I like Luke's lightsaber, but I don't like how you put the blade on because you have to change the top of it, and it makes it like this thick boy.
Yeah.
Like you know his lightsaber is like is skinny at top. We have to take the skinny part off to put the blade on, so it doesn't look like his lightsaber.
Yeah.
Anymore.
Circumcise his to put on.
Yeah, pretty much. I didn't really care. Anyway, so I got to hold all those. I played with the holocrons a little bit. Didn't buy one.
That's cool.
Because they're like, those like.
Were they cool though?
Yeah, they were cool. but I was going to pay $50 for one. I do get a 20% discount, so it wouldn't have been that much, but I didn't get one of those. But they have changed it where you can't find a black kyber crystal anymore. Used to, you could shine your phone's light,
Oh yeah.
and you could tell if it was darker or lighter. Now they put black paper in all of the red
We'll
ones.
just start opening them up.
I know. I asked him. I said, "So I heard a rumor that the black crystal is even harder to find now. You can't find it anymore on your own with special devices." And the lady was like, "It's the emergency." I'm like, "Ah, man, that's what I wanted. I wanted the black."
We just have to keep buying red ones.
Oh gosh. No, I'm good. So I think that was all of my purchase. Later that day, when the family got there, we ate at Primetime Cafe,
Oh.
which
Mm.
Primetime, 50s Primetime is where they treat you like they're your mom or something, and they tell you elbows off the table and do all this stuff. So some of the people that were with us hadn't been
Oh.
before, so they really
How did they like that?
they
Okay.
thought it was funny. But I had to go get somebody, so I left. I was like, let's order, and I'll go get that, and then I'll be back. So I came back in, and the waitress, who was supposed to be your aunt or I don't know, something like that, she goes, "Did you wash your hands?" And I was like, "No." And she's like, I was like, "I used some Purell a while ago. You didn't wash your hands?" I'm like, "No." She's like, "Ugh." And then she walked off, and I'm like, "What was that all about?" I'm like, "Why did she ask me that?" And they're like, "Oh, we told her you went to the bathroom." And I'm like, "Are you serious?" And they were like, "Yeah." I was like, "Well, now she probably thinks I'm like the disgusting individual." So she came back, and I was like, "Wait, okay. What? I was told that you thought I went to the bathroom. I did not go to the bathroom." She's like, "Well, where did you go then?" And I said, "Mom wanted me to mow the yard, so I went out and mowed the yard."
Still didn't wash your hands though.
Yeah,
And she
ew.
laughs. Yeah. Then I said, "Actually, I had to go get something. I just ran out, got it, and I came back." She's like, "Oh, okay." But she was funny. She was like some of those you get there, like they take it a little too far, you know?
I remember that one time, friend Chase, he kept
Yeah.
drinking, like he drank a lot of water or Coke or whatever, constantly whenever he went places, and he kept asking for a refill, and she eventually
Yeah.
just brought out a whole pitcher, and
I've
stuck a
had that
straw in
happen to me
it.
before.
Yeah.
Mine was a pitcher of Mountain Dew at a Hard Rock in Hawaii, I think. Because I was thirsty, so I drank it down. And then she came back with a pitcher. I'm like, "You can just leave that here." She's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah, this is straw." So that was a fun lunch. She was very fun. I don't remember her name, but that's a fun place to go, especially with people that haven't been there before, because they'll give you a hard time and everything. And then we went to Toy Story Land. We rode the Toy Story Mania or whatever it's called, Midway Mania. Everybody loved it. And then after that, we had drinks at Oga's Cantina scheduled because we had a reservation. So I took them into Galaxy's Edge. We went to Oga's, and it was so cool because I didn't go in there earlier because I was waiting for them to go in. But it was like you're stepping into the cantina. I mean, it wasn't supposed to be the cantina from the movie, but it looked a lot like it. But you had DJ Rex in the corner spinning those tunes, which was really cool. And then the drink, I got. My door just opened. Like freaking out.
Yes, it is. It is Halloween season time.
Yes. And ghosts and ghoulies are around.
Yes.
Where's my son?
Oh, good.
Wandering around?
Just wandering the halls.
Or is it your son?
Oh, there he is. Hey, buddy, come in. Special guest on the show right now. My wife's out of town, so I thought there was a ghost in here, Grant.
Grant's ghost.
Nope, just him.
Hey, buddy, you can play. Just So we went to Oga's Cantina, and I had the carbon freeze, which is non-alcoholic, but it was so good. Like it had some like dry ice in the bottom of it, so it was all bubbly, and it had those boba balls in it. It was
Those
bubbling,
bubble balls.
and yeah, so so it was
Okay.
really good. And they had this tank there with this frog-like creature in it that has the boba balls in it, and it's supposedly that's what the boba balls are these
Ew.
eggs. So I took my
Um,
son over, and I was like, look at this. This frog poops these balls out, and we drink them. And he thought that was
I'm
hilarious.
sure he did.
I'm pretty sure
He
that's
thought
what
that was
those
the
things are
funniest.
in real life. That's what those are.
Hmm.
Yeah.
They're disgusting.
I don't think I've ever had them, but they look gross. Yeah.
I had them in like a
They're weird. They're like eyeballs that pop in
yeah.
your mouth.
It's like a
They tasted good. They tasted like green apple.
Huh.
They were good.
That's good.
But so yeah, so we had a fun time in there. Everybody had a fun time in there. So I give Star Wars Galaxy's Edge a big thumbs up.
Hey, you didn't
I liked
talk
it.
about the droid.
Oh yeah, so we were walking. My son saw some droids outside, and he's like, "I want to build a droid." I'm like, "Really?" Like, I want to build a droid. I'm like, "Let's go look."
I want to build a droid.
Yeah, I want to build a
You
droid.
wanna build
So
a
the family is all there, and the yeah, all the family is like, "Hey, let's let Grant build a droid." So he got to build a droid. He picked out all the parts. Okay. Sorry. This is gonna be fun editing. So Grant, you got to build a droid, didn't you? It was cool. He built an R2 unit.
Nice, good choice.
He picked out the colors. He picked out a white body. He picked out one of the head's cool. It's like clear, so you can see all the parts moving. It was clear and blue. He picked blue legs, and he put red accents on the legs, so it's like a red, white, and blue
Very patriotic.
America.
droid. Yeah, very patriotic.
Mark.
Made in China.
So I got to build that with them, the family, pictures and video and stuff, and it was a really cool experience. I wasn't too happy with the helper.
Mm.
He was trying to rush us through it, and I was sort of like, no, we're gonna have fun, and you just go by your
Move
business
along.
because there wasn't that many people in there. Hold on, buddy. And then we built it, and then we took it back to the hotel later and played with it, and it's really cool. It's very responsive. It's not like, in and out. If you press forward, it goes forward. You press back, it goes back. It's not like wonky at all. It lights up. You can make it talk, spin around, all kinds. Spin the head around, but it's very responsive. Like unlike any, like when we were kids, the RC cars were usually didn't really work that well, But this works really well. I was very impressed. So we're playing with it at home. Played with it yesterday.
It's no Banshee, but
So
It's no Banshee.
no, it's way better.
So
than
mad at that
Banshee.
stupid thing still. We will probably end up with a droid.
Yeah,
I'm
it's-
sure.
You'll like it. Like I had fun with it. We're still having fun with it, and it's very responsive. And batteries have held up. It made it back on the plane. Lightsaber made it back on the plane because I took them on the plane and in our baggage. or anything.
It came in a box.
I can't believe they let you take a weapon like that.
I
on the
know,
plane.
right?
Well, I walked it with the lightsaber case at the the counter check-in counter, and I was like, "Is there going to be a problem with me taking this on the plane?" Because it's Spirit, and they charge for everything. And she was like, "What is it?" And I'm like, "It's a lightsaber." And she's like, "What?"
Are
I'm
you
like, it's a
serious?
lightsaber from Star Wars. I got it at Disney World. It's a lightsaber. She's like, oh yeah, that should be fine. So they didn't give me any
Yeah.
problems. I put it through security, no
From heard the
problem.
word saber, and she's like,
Can't bring a
Like,
no,
saber.
you
what?
cannot bring a sword. It's a saber.
Saber.
That's a saber.
It begins with a
I'll take
bloody
swords.
S.
But we went to all the parks. Went to Epcot, which was a hot mess. We had
Saber.
fun, but it's just construction everywhere. Construction everywhere at Epcot. Went to the Magic Kingdom. It was a light, crowded day, so we got to do pretty much everything we wanted to do. Um, and then we went to Animal Kingdom for the last
Hmm.
day in the parks, and I was wondering how Flight of Passage was going to be with Jennifer's family. Like, are they going to like? Because I sort of pumped it up. I'm like, this slide is really good. My son is playing wrestling figures in the background, so that may be what you're hearing.
Can you smell?
'Cause I pumped it. Yeah, I pumped it. I pumped it off like this is a really cool ride and stuff. And I tried to describe to him what it was, and so I was like, okay, are they gonna like it? Are they not gonna like it? 'Cause I never know with her family. So we get on. It was like her whole family. Jennifer had said it was the kids because they couldn't go on it; they weren't big enough. And then we were gonna child swap.
With another
Whole
family?
family.
You're going to child swap.
I'll take
No.
that one.
So we we got on it, and they were like just all silent, the whole time. I'm like, oh gosh, are they liking it? Do they not like it? Because I like that on that ride. I'm
Oh,
like
it
going,
freaked me
"Woohoo,
out.
yeah, it's
He
fun."
probably
It was
laughed
fun.
at me the whole time.
Yeah. And they were like
Wow.
completely silent the whole time. The ride ends, they get up, still silent. And I'm looking at them, and I'm like, what'd you guys think? And then they were like, that was awesome. That was so good. Then they started saying how much they liked it. They're like, we want to go again, and all this stuff. And, so they liked it. And then of course her dad was like asking me all these questions. How does it work? What does it do? How much motion is there? Or are we just seeing stuff on the screen? Like, what's going on? So I tried to explain to him how the ride works, like actually works. But so they really liked it.
Good.
Liked
That's
it a
good.
lot. They loved Pandora because I made sure they saw it at nighttime, as well as the daytime.
Cool.
So they liked it. We did the boat ride, the Navi River Journey. They all liked that. Ate it.
Satuli.
Satulis. They all like that. My wife is the only person that doesn't like that place, and I don't know why. She's like, yeah, I don't like it. I'm like, really? What would you rather eat? A hot dog?
Peasant food?
Yeah, peasant food. She's like, oh, I did get a Ronto wrap in Galaxy's Edge. It's their version of a taco, I guess. It's like naan bread with a sausage in it, with wrapped in sliced pork with this slaw on top of it.
Does not
and it
sound like a
was-
taco.
Sounds like a hot dog.
Well, it's like the shape of a taco.
Okay.
You hold it like a taco. It was so good.
Hmm.
Like it was so good. It had like the sausage had a good snap to it. It wasn't like a soggy
Sorry.
sausage.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah, had a snap to it. All the flavors were good, a little spicy. I loved it. It was good. So, and then the last thing, our parents left the next day. We were still there. Our cousin Sammy texted me and said, "Hey, you guys want to do something special today?" I'm like, "Of course." He's like, "I'm going on the Skyliner. You guys want to come
Ooh.
along?" And the Skyliner is the new transportation system. It's like gondolas in the sky, Skyliner, that take you from resorts to the parks, or to the parks and everything. So we got to ride that. We got on at Hollywood Studios, and it took us to their switch station, and then we got off that and rode to Epcot and then back. We rode it at night, so I can't really comment on
Temperature. Yeah.
how hot it gets. Yeah. At certain points, there was a breeze going through. But then when it switched to like different directions, the breeze
Oh.
completely went away. So if you're going in certain directions, like if the breeze is blowing that way, then you'll get a breeze. But if you switch to
Hmm.
other directions, we didn't get a breeze. And some of them are wrapped in like
Yeah.
the characters, you
Mhm.
know. So at nighttime, you can't
Huh.
really see out at all.
Huh.
But the ones that aren't wrapped, because we switched over to one and
Hmm.
it wasn't wrapped, you can see out. You can see everything.
Hmm.
So I highly recommend if you're going to use it, especially at night, try to get on one that doesn't have a
Hmm.
character wrap on it because you can't see
Hmm.
anything. And that made me
Hmm.
so nauseous, like because it's like swaying back and forth as it's going and moving around and stuff. And then when you hit it where there's no air blowing in, you can't see out. It's swaying. I got so nauseous.
I'm
And
nauseous.
my son was
I'm
like, "Look at this, look
nauseous.
at that." I'm like, I can't look. I can't look. I'm gonna vomit in this brand new Skyliner. So I mean, it's cool, but the thing that the question I had, what happened there? Like when we got off one, we had to wait in this huge long line
Oh,
to
that
get
was
on
my
another
question.
one.
Yeah.
Mm.
Hmm.
So I mean, this was just a cast preview, so who knows? But that's the thing. Like if you're at a resort and you're taking a bus, well, there's multiple bus stops, so it's not like a long line. But here, there's one line to get on. You
Mhm.
know, so that was sort of crazy, but I don't know how that's going to be once it opens up to
Yeah.
the general public.
It'll be
Like
interesting.
lines, how
We're
that's
staying
gonna
at Pop next year, and we're gonna stay at Port Orleans, but then we changed it, and I'm kind of getting excited about that possibility of riding that. I don't think my wife is, but I was like, well, I'll ride it and meet you all there or something like that. But thinking about those lines, because you do have to change whenever it takes a turn. You got to get out so that it can go around, and then you get back in or whatever.
Well, you only change if like you're going to a different destination. So if you're going from
Well, it's,
Hollywood Studio, if you want to go to Hollywood Studios to Epcot, then you got
right,
to change. But if you're going to like,
but if
so there's like a
right,
hub that's at the Caribbean resort. So when you get there, you pick if
sure.
you're going to Pop Century, if you're going to Hollywood
Right,
Studios, or
but
if you're
if I'm
going to
coming
Epcot.
from Pop Century, I go to that hub, and
But
then I got to get on to go to
yeah, and then you
right,
go, yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. The hub's
yeah.
nice.
It looked like it was. Did they have
Did a nice job with it.
the uniforms
Uh,
that they were so excited about? I don't know if y'all saw the video, but it's like we've got these,
No.
and they look like 50s or 60s future. Like in the future, this is what things will look like. And they had it's. I don't know. It's just stupid looking to me, but they
They
probably did. I'm
probably
sure.
did. I mean, there was people working it, and I
Yeah.
didn't even notice. I was just trying to get
Oh,
kids and
come
everybody on
on!
a moving vehicle that doesn't
How
stop.
can you report on this stuff if you don't?
Well, it does, you know. So here's a interesting, weird little thing, which I don't know why they made it like this, but so like there's benches when you go in that you sit on.
Yeah.
Like there's two benches. On the back side of the bench, if you look down, there's a grate, but it's a
Hmm.
big grate. It's like, um, I mean, the holes in the
Yeah.
grate are like the size of a.
They're big.
Plum?
Yeah, they're big. So let's say you sit down and your keys
Dun,
fall out
dun,
of your
dun.
pocket.
Oh.
They're going to the
No.
ground.
Huh.
I don't understand why they made it like that.
Did you make the sound from
Bum, bum, ba-dum.
dun dun dun?
What
What is that?
It's
That's
Price
right.
is Right, right? Isn't
Yeah, Price is Right. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
it?
Okay. Sorry. It's like dun 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 dun. I was like, wait a minute.
Well,
Yeah. So unless it was different than the way it looked, but there was holes, and because I felt air, and I'm like looking down, and I'm like, there's
but
big
it probably has
holes
two
right there.
purposes.
What stops something from
For
falling?
the air to move through, but also when all the drunk people get on there and throw up or whatever, then it just comes. It goes right out the holes. It's just
And when it eventually breaks off and falls into the water
Yeah.
that you're traveling over, it'll fill up quicker,
yeah.
so you'll die quicker.
I guess. Anyway, so there's big holes, but don't drop anything, or you won't get it back.
Okay.
But it goes across like streets. So what if you like drop something and it lands on a car windshield or something? I don't know.
Well,
You think they would have a smaller
maybe there
mesh
is that you used to.
on there?
so small.
I don't know.
I can see
Saw the
them.
I saw the ground.
They'll figure that out, and then they'll put a mesh down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there'll be a sign probably that they add on that says "Do not stick stuff in these holes." Because somebody did and killed
Mm.
somebody. Um. So yeah, so Skylers, they were
Yeah.
cool. I mean, will I ride them often?
Yeah.
Probably not, because
Yeah, I
I
was
won't be
gonna say
staying at
it's
any
not
of the
gonna go the
places they
direction you want to
go.
go.
Mhm.
People were talking about on one podcast of, you've got the monorail crawl that you can do and visit the monorail resorts and get drinks or
Sounds
whatever.
like the watermelon crawl.
Exactly. So they came up with some silly name for the pop and all those, but it's like you could go to Pop Century and get the tie-dye cheesecake, then go to something else, go to the Caribbean and get something that's there. I don't remember. So you could, in theory, but are people going to do it? There may be a few people that do it just because it's the new ride. It's you don't have a ticket for it, right? You can just go ride it.
Yeah,
So.
I guess. I mean, but you have to like park like one of the.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you're
parks.
staying at a resort, let's say you're staying at a
maybe.
resort for 6 days,
Yeah,
but you only
yeah.
have 5 days worth of tickets, then it's something to do.
Yeah, it's something to do.
I had a weird dream about it after it was announced, and it was you and I were going to ride it, but it was like these one-seaters, and it was just this almost like a teacup that you're riding and you're going across, and it was so frightening. But yeah, it was weird.
So that was our trip, as I like to say in a nutshell. We had a blast. Oh, I
in a
did go
nutshell.
to. I did go to Halloween
yeah.
Horror Nights.
Oh.
I had tickets for 2 nights. I
Oh.
went one night, not even the
Oh.
full night.
Oh.
I was not impressed. And the houses that we went in were great. The guest service, I'm spoiled by Disney now. The guest service and just the park in general was horrible. Um, so, not to be mean to them, but I do have a medical condition that sometimes I have to have a bathroom right there. That's all. That's all I'll say. I went to 3 different bathrooms in this park, and they were all closed.
Crazy.
And the park's not that big, so the park's big,
area,
but it's
yeah.
not like it's a big circle. So
Mhm.
I kept going to different bathrooms, and I walked half the park before I found a bathroom that was open, which is not good for me because stuff can happen. Let's put second.
Stuff happens.
Like I found somebody, and I was like, "Where's the bathroom? Where's no bathrooms?" Like, "Oh, I'm sorry, these are all closed. You'll have to go to the other side of the park." And I'm like, "No." It was like so crowded, you couldn't walk anywhere. Um, I went up to an employee to ask them like a question about something, and they were with 2 more employees, and they completely ignored me and just talked to each other, and I had to stand there for like a few minutes and before they would acknowledge my existence. Um, the lines were horrible. It's like they said, let's see how many tickets we can sell and cram it in here. So it was just like wall to wall people. So we did like 5 of the houses, and there's 10 houses. By the time we did the 5th house, we said we're done, and we just left. Because my wife went with me.
wow.
She doesn't usually go with me, and she was like, "This is horrible. I don't want to be here." I was like, "You don't have to go." She's like, "No, I want to go with you." Like we had a nice dinner at City Walk. We ate at the place that looks like Willy Wonka's
Yeah.
factory. It's like a big, some kind of restaurant.
Yeah.
Factory. Had a good dinner there, but then the park was just like bad. And I tried to talk to guest services, and they didn't really care. I told them that I had a medical condition, and they were just basically like, "We'll just go to the bathroom." Then.
Right here?
I'm like, "I'll go right here since you don't have any bathrooms open," but
They just told me to go, so I can go wherever.
Yeah. But the Ghostbusters house was really cool.
That's cool.
Good.
It was like you were walking through the movie. And the Monsters house, like the classic Monsters, was good. Stranger Things, it looked cool, but it was like they were pushing you through the house. So I had like a flashlight in my face the whole time saying, walk faster, like by the And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
this is dumb.
Annoying.
Yeah, so I don't think I'll be going back there. I don't know. I'm gonna stick with Disney, Universal. You can, and you can't go on any ride if you have. Like my wife had a tiny purse, and you have to get a locker. You have
Yeah.
to put your tiny purse in a locker,
Oh.
but none of the
No.
lockers worked. So you had to find an employee to make one of the lockers work. It was annoying. It was poor planning on their part. Anyways, but the rest of the trip, Disney was excellent. Guest services there was excellent as always. We got to eat a lot of good food. Rode pretty much everything we
Yeah.
wanted to ride.
Teacups and all.
That was good. No, we didn't ride that. None of the people in our party like the spinny stuff.
Oh, I like the teacups.
I do too. Our family loves it.
It makes
The only, I think said this before, but the only time I get sick on teacups are when it's the ones that are like teacups. So it's like at Dollywood, the lemon swirl. I can't think what it's called. Lemon twister, I think is what and that just makes me sick. I don't know what it is about it. And then at this one carnival we go to every year at Halloween, it's these bears that you sit inside of. They're huge, and you spin around. And you can't see anything except out this little hole at where you go in, and it makes me so sick. It's bad. But the teacups, we go super fast. But I will say, the last time we went, I almost got sick.
So if it's wide open, you're pretty
good. Except
it's got like a back or something to it.
I guess, but the thing at Dollywood is just like teacups. It's just something else about it. It's the mountain.
It's the mountain.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, it's something to do with like the scenery, or
it could be the elevation. But that's a higher elevation.
Or they're smaller too, and that can make a difference too. Like you're instead of this bigger circle, you're in this tiny circle, so you're going a little bit different. I don't know.
You could be allergic to lemons.
No, I like lemons.
So, anyways, I'm just looking at our time. We're over an hour, so the second ride is not open in Galaxy's Edge for those that didn't know.
They previewed it on ABC. Did you see that? The Good Morning America.
I saw
really
that.
didn't show
My friend
much of
Carrie
it.
sent me a link to it. Yeah. Something may have happened today, and I'm going to go ride it.
Oh well. Oh, it's Ryan. Everything comes free.
No. I got an email from Spirit, coming back from our trip, and there's like, you want to go back or whatever? You know how they do those things, like you go on a trip and then they send you stuff. They're like, you want to go back for $35? And I'm like, $35? Yes, I will go back for $35. So that's my Christmas present. I said, Jennifer, this is my Christmas present. I don't want anything else. $35 plane ticket. I already have a place to stay there for free. I'm going to go. I basically is going to go ride the ride, or fly in, ride the ride, and then
then you made her sad because she had to take your Christmas present back.
I know.
She already had it for you.
It was a PlayStation 5.
No.
Yeah.
No. Anyways, so if you're looking to go ride the new ride, check out Spirit right now because they do have good deals for like January. $35. Not a sponsor, but that's that's a good deal. 35, and I don't have to check any bags or pay for any bags because it's just a quick trip. So I'll take my backpack, hop on a $35 flight, go there, ride the ride, spend the night with my cousin that lives there, jump on a plane, come back. There we go.
But if you want to sponsor a Spirit, go right ahead.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
This episode sponsored by Spirit, the Fresh Maker.
That's not it.
They're not a fresh maker though. They charge out the wazoo.
Yeah.
Like if you want a bag, that's why I'm not taking any bags. But so look forward to that episode of me talking about that ride. Again, that was just something that came up, and I'm like, $35. That's hard to pass up, right? I'm not crazy, right?
Well,
oh, you're crazy, but no, that's good. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I know I'm crazy, but that's a good deal, right?
Good deal.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't you if you were to fill up your tank in your car, it's more than that probably the car you drive, and so I mean, Yeah, just I mean, gee whiz. Or you spend that on a meal for Pete's sake with your family.
Yeah.
More than that. So yeah, just
'Cause
don't eat one
it's your
day.
family
Yeah.
because they eat a lot.
No, you have 4 people.
So my wife got off. Yeah, my wife got off cheap for Christmas.
Exactly.
$35.
But,
That's all.
well, there's also
The
Disney
hotel
ticket.
and everything you're gonna buy.
No, I don't have to
You
have a
have to-
hotel
yeah, you
because
have
I have
and food,
relatives that live
but
there, so that's free.
you got to get into the park.
I can eat out of the garbage cans.
That part's not free.
Well, you may have solved that problem.
I-
So by going next
Uh,
because my wife was like, "Well, I would love to go back with the caterers."
well, I know she got mad because we weren't going to land, but
Disneyland. No, she get mad. She was just like, "Oh, I thought we were going to Disneyland."
Yeah.
Not mad, but so we may go.
oh
to
yeah,
Disneyland. So that may solve the
yeah,
ticket.
you got to
thing, 'cause
renew it and have it for next year.
I don't know. If not, I mean,
You could get a midday
I
magic
can just
maybe
sneak into the.
if they have those.
Yeah, yeah. So it's not
Those
that-
end in December, but hopefully they'll renew that.
Midday magic.
I'll just
That
smuggle
episode,
myself
by the
in
way,
there,
has gotten a
'cause
lot of listens.
Yes, it has.
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
has it?
I think it's something else.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
little midday magic. I'll take a little midday magic.
By the way, we are not a Disney podcast, but our last 5 or 6 episodes.
Yeah, sorry.
We
No, like the last two before
They
this
were.
were about.
that's true.
Desert
Yeah.
Islands.
No, but we love Disney, so
And then we
it works.
did a crisis on Infinite.
We
Earths.
did. And that one's gotten a
And
lot of listens.
that one's done well
That
too.
has done well, yes. And that's coming up in a couple weeks. So, or well, not that, but the shows are coming back.
The shows are starting up. Yeah.
So to end, if any of our listeners or friends of the show want to go with me
Ooh.
to Galaxy's Edge,
Ooh.
January 7th
You can go with
through
Ryan.
the 9th, you can come with me. We will
Wow.
go to Galaxy's Edge together. We will ride the new ride. We're not going to give you a prize or anything.
that is a prize.
You'll have to pay to get there.
Just being,
To hang with you.
but you gotta pay.
Yeah. So any of our listeners, any of our former guests, Tyler Dean, if you're
That-
listening.
this
come
is
to
his
Galaxy's
chance.
Edge with me, January 7th through the 9th. There we go. We
Solve
solved
that
that problem. And anybody else that wants to go. It was a very surprise. I mean, I didn't think that I would get a ticket to go back, but my wife was like, "It's $35."
Get out of my face.
Yeah, get out of my face.
Please leave the house.
Anyway,
That's a present to her.
mean-
That's not a present to you.
yeah. But I rarely get to leave the house because of the kids. So I get to leave the house. Anyways, so that has been our trip report, Disney trip report. I had a blast. I know I talked mostly about Galaxy's Edge, but it was a cool experience. I highly recommend it. There's also a book out. I haven't got to read it or listen to it yet that basically tells the story behind.
There's a
Galaxy's
series
Edge?
of comics, I think, that are supposed to come out. So.
Yeah, there's a series of comics too, which
That's
I saw some of them there. So pretty cool. But yeah, so let us know what you think of Galaxy's Edge if you've been, or what you're hoping to see when you go or buy or all that jazz. All that jazz. Anyway, thanks for listening. This has been episode 119. You guys got anything else?
I don't think so.
No, good.
Nope. All right. We will catch you next time on I Am Geek. Good night, everybody.